All right, Donnie, let's start with the National Football League, though. Some news and notes and some big headlines around the sport. Again, as we have shared, the 2025 NFL Draft just over a week away. 8 days from now, opening night, opening round in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And the guy we expect to go number 2 overall, our reigning Heisman winner in Travis Hunter, who, of course, won the Heisman Trophy because he was sensational and historic on both sides of the football as a wide receiver and a lockdown cornerback for Colorado this past year in 2024. Now, Donnie, as for his future in the NFL as a two-way star, we'll see exactly how NFL teams and organizations hope to slot him in. But for Travis Hunter, he's pretty steadfast in the idea that he can still be elite on both sides of the ball. In fact, even saying when asked if a team told him, hey, you're only going to play as a wide receiver or as a cornerback, Travis Hunter said if that's the case, then he's not playing football at all.
Yeah, that doesn't. Again, I need to hear like the in-depth details. Does this mean like, okay, coach, I'm going to be full-time on defense, but let me run like 3 or 4 routes in a game on offense, and I'm good? Because the one thing he's never going to do in the NFL, I don't care how much he says it, it doesn't make any sense to play both ways full-time. Because understand this, in the NFL, it's not Major League Baseball. It's not basketball. Hey, play offense and defense in basketball. The concussions, the injuries, the wear and tear. Nobody's going to do that to a superstar player like himself. Because understand this, if you're just a defensive back, can you get injured? Yes. If you're just a wide receiver, can you get injured? Yes. But you know what you can't do? Play on both sides of the football if you get injured at all in that football game. They'll find ways to use his unique skill talent. There's no doubt about it. But I don't understand the grandstanding as if it's like, a simple answer is like, Travis, do you want to play both ways? Absolutely. I'll do whatever that team asks me to do. I would love to play both ways. Travis, whatever they said, you're too important to us. We want you to play defense. I'll do the same thing, whatever it is to win a football game. Instead of the stance of, well, if I go to the organization, I'll get what I want. I'm just going to retire from football altogether. When you know he's not doing that. Like, I don't understand why you pick these battles before you even get drafted. There's simple answers you tell the media and the teams of what you want to do. There's not, don't draft me if I'm not playing 100% on both sides of the football. I'll retire. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't really either, DRS. Obviously, Travis Hunter has the belief in himself. I'll just say this. As a wide receiver, he's really good. He's not NFL caliber. As a cornerback, he is a lockdown guy that I think could be a game changer on that side of the field. Now, should he be involved in offensive sets? Should he have a couple of special plays in an offensive scheme, especially for the Browns? Sure. I'm okay with that. Get him the football because of how outstanding a playmaker he is. But I think his benefit for going this high in the NFL draft, DRS, is not because he is a two-way superstar. It's because he is just an absolute football stud and an elite lockdown corner on the defensive side of the football. 713 offensive snaps for Hunter in 2024. 748 defensive snaps for Travis Hunter and CU in 2024. 1,461 in total. The first player, DRS, since the 2017 college football season to play at least 250 snaps on either side of the football, and he played more than 700 on either side. There was obviously the natural conversation, well, can his body hold up if he were to do even anything close to it in the National Football League? I don't even think that's part of it. I just think it's how he can be best utilized in the NFL. Travis can say all he wants. He might get a couple of offensive plays. If you're drafting him second overall, as the Browns are projected to do, you think of him as a playmaker and a special talent, but you're drafting him that high because he is an elite lockdown quarterback, of which he is.
Exactly. You can. I mean, he would be a viable NFL wide receiver just to go that route as opposed to even play defense. But the point is, and we see it in the past, and also his coach, Deion Sanders, did it perfectly with the Dallas Cowboys. An elite, best of the world competition cornerback, no doubt about it. But he was making plays even in the Super Bowl as a wide receiver against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Packages will be out there. They can utilize his talents, a kick return here, a punt return there, play great defense, and away you go in your career and have an extended career. Nobody wants you playing 150 snaps in an NFL game, taking that beating. You won't make it past week 5.
Yeah, I completely agree, Donnie. And I don't think the Browns would allow that to be the case. I also don't think Travis Hunter is an idiot, and I do not believe Travis Hunter would walk away from football if Cleveland said, you're not our wide receiver 3 as we get ready for 2025. Minus 310 for Travis Hunter to be that second overall pick. But we'll Travis Hunter has also said he wants Roger Goodell, when he is introduced, when his pick is announced at some point a week from tomorrow, to be said, Travis Hunter, as they give you your quarterback, Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. He wants to be said, Travis Hunter, wide receiver, cornerback, Colorado. We'll see if that happens either.
Yeah, I don't mind that because he should get snaps on both sides of the football. But it just sounds like, hey, my demands coming in are I'm going to pick and choose. But you know what? I want to see your offensive playbook and your defensive playbook before you draft me. That's what it sounds like at this point. And again, there's a lot of bluster from a Heisman Trophy winning, player, which as it should be. But it's just kind of interesting, like that hill, as opposed to saying like, I want to play both ways. I hope they let me play it too. If they don't, I'll take my ball and go home. No, you won't.
Yeah, no, you absolutely will not. We had the big news yesterday, of course, for Travis Hunter's Colorado teammate, Shedeur Sanders. The Giants and Sanders holding one final private workout together on a Thursday in Boulder. The Giants will also get other final looks, DRS, at Jalen Milroe and Tyler Shough, as we shared yesterday. Milroe, not exactly in consideration to be that third overall pick, but the Giants do have the second pick of the second round if they looked at a quarterback following round number 1.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't get another look at Daniel Jones. You know what? None of Daniel Jones got called for an individual workout and threw a couple 5-yard outs. That's our guy. And they go, wait. We drafted him a couple years ago. He's not our guy. But did you see him in shorts and a T-shirt? He can ball out. Enough with the Giants.
Yeah, I completely agree, DRS. If you do not know already, you do not never know. And if you don't have a plan how to shape your franchise with a quarterback in the future, you are doing yourself a disservice. We'll continue to talk the NFL and some early Major League Baseball plays for this Wednesday. Next. Just over a week away from the 2025 NFL Draft. Some more NFL news and notes, of course, DRS, as we get to certain stages in the NFL offseason calendar. When you have these big marquee events, some of those headlines start to ramp up just a little bit. For the Miami Dolphins, what exactly is their plan this offseason under Mike McDaniel? Very high optimism the last few years to be a playoff team, to be a playoff contender. They were not this previous season. And what exactly is going to happen moving forward? The Miami Dolphins are exploring, along with Jalen Ramsey, some potential trade destinations for the 30-year-old all-pro cornerback, but they are not all that interested in trading Tyreek Hill at this moment. DRS, as we shared in our opening segment to start off hour number 1, the Fins kind of thought of in this limbo situation entering 2025. Win total 8.5 for Miami. The under has the juice. Around a 500 mediocre team. That's what we're expecting.
Yeah, the vibes aren't high there. Mike McDaniel might be one of those coaches that it's like, hey, you know what? This could be your last year down there, and a lot of pressure on his coaching shoulders as well. But it does look like a fire sale. This is usually one of the trades that's supposed to pop up in the middle of the night. Like, wow, man, they traded Jalen Ramsey. What did they get back for him? When you are the general manager at the podium of a press conference, basically like, yeah, look, give us a phone call. We don't want him here. He doesn't want to be here. We'll help him out and get him out of town. So I don't know if somebody's going to think they're getting a steal because they're going to get a high-level football player with a high-level paycheck at that point. And what's the motivation here on yet another team for Jalen Ramsey? That's what I'd worry about. But more of the focus is on one of the more talented teams in the AFC over the past couple years, the Miami Dolphins. They're not getting any bang for their buck, whether it's regular season, playoffs, talent level, whatever it might be. So, yeah, I don't want to say I'm out on the Miami Dolphins, but it's not one of those teams I'm intrigued by so far. No way.
About to be year number 4 under Mike McDaniel. Playoff appearances in his first 2 years and not a playoff win. Miami has not won a playoff game since the wild card round of the 2000 NFL season. Nothing that's happening right now makes you feel all that much more confident the Fins are going to figure it out and change that 25-year streak this upcoming season. Tyron Smith, one of the greatest to ever do it as a left tackle in the National Football League in recent memory, signing a one-day deal, DRS, with the Dallas Cowboys to retire as a Cowboy after 14 NFL seasons. A sign of the time for those Cowboys offensive linemen, because we also know Zach Martin retired earlier this offseason. A new era for Dallas up front.
Yeah, what a monster left tackle and such a good player throughout his time with the Dallas Cowboys. But as we know with the Cowboys, they've had a lot of really good football players since 1995 that haven't won
Yeah.
anything here. Not necessarily his fault, but you can look back at his career certainly fondly. One of the best left tackles during his decade plus in the NFL.
Spent last year with the New York Jets, only playing in 10 games, his first 13 years in Dallas, thus the ceremonial one-day contract to retire a Cowboy, an 8-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time first-team AP All-Pro. 8 days out from the 2025 NFL Draft. Opening night, opening round, next Thursday, April 24th, live from Titletown in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Should be a great scene outside of Lambeau Field. In fact, we should figure out where the exact set is for the 2025 NFL Draft. You would have to assume outside of Lambeau, but we'll get you that in just a little bit. How about the actual odds that we have for next week's NFL Draft? The market's starting to open up in a large way early this week. We have talked first-round picks, what that means for the amount of quarterbacks we will see on the opening night. We have talked a ton of projections, Shough Sanders storyline, and all of that. How about the odds to be the 4th and 5th overall pick, which are now out and available on the FanDuel Sportsbook? Because really the top 3 is where things are interesting. We know Cam Ward, more than likely, just waiting official confirmation by the time we get to next Thursday night as a minus 20,000 favorite, going to go first overall. The Browns hold that 2nd overall pick. Travis Hunter, a minus 310 favorite. The Giants hold the 3rd overall pick. Abdul Carter, minus 240 to go 3rd overall. 4th overall, it's the Patriots. New England in its first year under Mike Vrabel, looking to build and fill out the roster in a variety of capacities. They don't need a quarterback, though, of course, trusting Drake May. 5th overall, under new rookie head coach Liam Cohen, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cohen's main task, reinvigorating the career of Trevor Lawrence. What does Jacksonville elect to do with that 5th overall pick to build out the team around their QB? Might Jacksonville look to the defensive side of the football? That's what the odds makers are projecting here. Mason Graham, the very talented interior D lineman out of Michigan, is a minus 145 favorite to be that 5th overall pick. Again, as we have shared a variety of the times, this is the latest into the league year, as it is officially underway now for the last month and a half or so, that all 32 NFL franchises hold on to their original first-round pick. You would think, although the Patriots and the Jags have a ton of team needs to fill early and often in this NFL draft, they're not necessarily dead set on what they might do at 4th and 5th overall. Would either of these teams look to trade back come draft night to accumulate more draft capital to fill out the roster that needs it in plenty of spots? That, I guess, would be the conversation. Mason Graham, not just a minus 145 favorite, by the way, to go 5th overall, the pick the Jags have right now. Mason Graham is a hefty favorite at minus 700 to be the first defensive lineman drafted in the 2025 NFL Draft. You see the second best price, a 5-1 number on Armand Membu, the offensive tackle out of Missouri that wowed at the NFL scouting combine. There was a good portion of this draft cycle, really up until the last week or so, that Membu was not just looked at more as a top 5 pick, but as the first O-lineman to hear his name called next week in Green Bay. I have told you a few times I've headed over to our studios in New Jersey, and I can bet the NFL draft odds. What I have elected to do, Shough Sanders to go to the Steelers at a 9-1 number. It's now plus 550. Pittsburgh to draft a quarterback with its first position drafted. It was plus 340 then. It's plus 270 now. Something I am glad I jumped on when I did. Will Campbell, the outstanding blindside blocker out of LSU, to be the first O-lineman drafted at a minus 110 price, but Armand Membu out of Mizzou had a slightly better number then at minus 120. Will Campbell is now a minus 240 favorite to be the first O-lineman drafted, near a minus money $2 favorite to be the 4th overall pick, to be that staple of the O-line to protect Drake May in New England. Again, as we look at where the NFL draft odds are right now, 2nd overall pick, Travis Hunter at minus 310. 3rd overall pick, Abdul Carter at minus 240. Browns at 2, Giants at 3. Despite some late chatter, I really expect that to be the path that we see come 8 days from now on a Thursday night. I would be shocked if the Browns do not draft Travis Hunter second overall. We'll see about his position in the NFL. And if the Giants do not select Abdul Carter at minus 240, there's been reports on Shedeur Sanders, and his number is shorter, but it's still plus 420 to find his way to New York. And because our producer extraordinaire, Joe Frizo, tracked down this information, the draft theater for the 2025 NFL Draft will be built in a parking lot at Lambeau Field, one of the historic venues, of course, in all of sports and in the National Football League. It should be a great theater for the 2025 NFL Draft, just over a week away. The early line returns tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, here on a Thursday on SportsGrid.